After a 3-year hiatus, D23 Expo is returning in September with what is sure to be a jam-packed weekend of news from movies and TV to the parks and resorts. However, given that this is the official kickoff to Disney's 100 Years of Wonder celebration for the 100th anniversary of the company, maybe this is the year that we'll see a surprise announcement as well. And so let's dive into some wildcard predictions up next.
Hi there Waltineers, I'm Jack and this is DSNY Newscast, and be sure to subscribe down below and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, as I'm going to be doing in-depth news videos and all of the latest coming out of D23 Expo in just over a month's time. And in my previous video I outlined some predictions for the Disney park announcements based upon a combination of recent evidence and logical reasoning to hopefully highlight some key areas in which we might see some new projects unveiled. But where that video was all about setting realistic expectations, today I want to talk about some wildcard predictions. And so let's begin with some context.
As over the past decade, D23 Expo has morphed beyond just a fan-centric expo akin to San Diego Comic-Con, but it's now become an extremely important public relations platform that enables Disney to then dominate the entertainment news cycle by promoting upcoming projects from movies and TV and Disney Plus to the parks and resorts as well. However, this year, a lot more is going to be riding on this 3-day-long event than usual. As you see, the previous Expo in 2019 only had a few new project announcements. And then all of those new project announcements, such as the Mary Poppins attraction, the Avengers Quinjet ride, and the Epcot Central transformation, either got indefinitely postponed, drastically scaled back, or cancelled altogether because of the pandemic's economic effects. And so coupling that element with the unpopular decisions to increase prices and remove Disney perks such as free FastPass has in turn led to a sense of disappointment and muted enthusiasm within the fan community toward the Disney parks right now, and is inevitably affecting how fans are viewing this year's D23 Expo.
And so to begin to turn the tide, I'm not saying that Disney will, but I'm saying that Disney needs to deliver a solid D23 Expo this year, chock full of announcements on the same level as that of 2017.
As that year we saw the announcement of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the Tron Light Cycle Run roller coaster, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Although this indifference from the fans isn't the only concern that this year's Expo needs to address. But much more importantly, Disney should be concerned about the impending threat on the horizon in the form of Epic Universe, as Disney has seen mounting pressure from Universal Studios over the past decade, with the immense success of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Islands of Adventure forcing Disney into panic mode, in which they responded with the announcement in 2011 of Pandora the World of Avatar, and then after Universal opened Diagon Alley in 2014. Disney reacted in an even greater way by announcing the construction of not only Toy Story Land, but also two 14-acre Star Wars themed lands at D23 Expo in 2015. And so you'd think that with Universal's third theme park in Orlando targeting a 2025 opening, this would be the pivotal moment for Disney to respond in a big way. And many fans believe that that response should be the announcement of their own equally ambitious fifth park at Walt Disney World. However, that is almost certainly not going to happen. As for a project that monumental, we would have definitely heard some rumours or rumblings by now, either in the way of new permit filings or industry whispers of Disney's intentions. But instead, it seems likely that Disney will continue their cyclical rotation of investment into the 4 existing parks, as a way to hopefully strengthen their portfolio, ready in time for 2025. But then again, as history has shown time and time again, Disney has been reactionary instead of proactive, and so will likely get their serious response to Epic Universe only after it's too late and the new park has already begun to eat into Disney's market share.
And so clearly, with a fifth park not in the cards for the foreseeable future, then what could be a possible wildcard announcement? And well, the answer might have just been there all along, as I think it's certainly possible that Disney might try and steal some of the spotlight away from Epic Universe by announcing their first ever global Disney park that would be available to anyone, anywhere, as a sort of virtual Magic Kingdom inside of the Metaverse.
Although before we go any further, some of you may be wondering what exactly is the Metaverse. And well, at the moment, it means many different things to many different people. But put simply, Google describes it as a virtual reality space in which users can interact with a computer-generated environment and other users. So a good visual representation of this is the movie Ready Player One, as that is the commonly adopted concept of what the Metaverse could potentially be. But here's the thing, as it was only shortly after Facebook rebranded their parent company to the name Meta in October 2021 that all of a sudden the Metaverse became headline news. And not just within the traditional technology circles, but also throughout the entertainment industry as a whole. And it was around that time that Disney CEO Bob Chapek decided to pivot hard toward this new concept, believing it to be an integral part of his vision for the company. As in a company-wide memo on January 10th, 2022, Chapek outlined his 3 pillars for the company, with them being storytelling excellence, innovation, and focus on the audience, in which he specifically mentioned giving creative teams new canvases like the Metaverse on which to paint. And there's been even more evidence to show Disney's moving in this direction, as in an interview with CNBC from February, Chapek even alluded to the fact that the parks give them a huge advantage in this area, as the Metaverse is a blending of the physical and digital into one environment. But this talk of the Metaverse goes beyond just statements, as Disney has also restructured the company to explore the concept, creating a new division called Next Generation Storytelling and Consumer Experiences, which is responsible for overseeing Disney's Metaverse ambitions. And it was in June of this year that Disney hired the head of Apple's gaming subscription service Apple Arcade to help make those ambitions a reality, by building a team from all across the company to tightly integrate movies, TV, consumer products, and the Disney parks into their vision for the Metaverse. But given the fact that all of these developments have only happened very recently, and considering Disney's somewhat tortuous track record within the consumer technology product space, I am not expecting Disney to launch their Metaverse project to the public at D23 Expo. But instead, I think it is very possible that the Wildcard announcement out of D23 Expo this year could be Disney outlining their approach toward the Metaverse and giving a vision of what Disney parks integrated within the Metaverse would entail, with then a rollout of the actual experience over the next year or two.
And although that seems to be a likely contender, that's not the wildcard prediction that I personally would like to see as a Disney fan. As you see, what I would like to see announced would be an interactive Walt Disney Company museum experience at Disney Springs. And here's the reason why.
As next year, October 16th, 2023, marks a historic milestone for the Walt Disney Company, as it will be celebrating its centenary with the global Disney 100 celebration. Therefore, now would be the perfect time to announce the creation of an interactive museum-like experience that could encompass 100 years of entertainment history. As you see, no other media company is as uniquely positioned as Disney is to be able to represent Hollywood holistically and the entertainment industry as a whole. And this wouldn't be a replica of the Walt Disney Family Museum over in San Francisco, as that's dedicated to the life of Walt Disney. And although it would be similar in a way, it would be much larger and focused on the entirety of the Disney company. And so to begin with, it could obviously tell the history of animation, from the evolution of hand-drawn animation to the revolution that came with Pixar's CG animation in the 1990s. Then in terms of live-action cinema, through the inclusion of Lucasfilm and their division of Industrial Light and Magic, the experience could also demonstrate the developments that have been made in special effects and the illusions of movie making throughout the years. But more than that, the museum aspect of all of this could be phenomenal, as not only could it display artifacts from the wealth of Disney's live-action movie history, but also Lucasfilm, Marvel, and the Muppets could all be represented as well. And with the inclusion of 20th Century Fox, this museum could showcase artifacts from the earliest days of cinema right through to present day, with each genre of cinema having its own dedicated section. And it doesn't just stop there, as Disney also helped pioneer the nature documentary, so the experience could have a section dedicated to Disney Nature and National Geographic, along with a section dedicated to the medium of television production and ABC Entertainment, and depending on usage rights and an agreement with Universal, it could also possibly feature a section showcasing Marvel comic book history as well. But of course, the pinnacle of an experience like this for a Disney park fan like myself would be a wing dedicated to the creation of the Disney parks and the art of Imagineering. However, to do all of this properly, I feel that it would have to be a permanent fixture, located on the west side of Disney Springs, perhaps occupying the space where the surface level parking is. Then that way it could be a major draw as a ticketed experience on that side of Disney Springs that many guests would then add on to their vacation. And in terms of repeat visitation, well, there would be a cyclical rotation of the exhibit's artifacts and specialized seasonal exhibitions, focusing on different Disney parks or attractions around the world, or maybe even tied into new movie releases or franchises as well. And so that is what I would love to see announced to mark 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. But realistically, if we are to get a wildcard announcement at D23 Expo, Disney will most likely be looking toward their future with new technologies like the Metaverse, instead of showcasing their heritage with an interactive museum experience.
But now, it's over to you, Waltineers, as I would like to know what are your thoughts and opinions on this wildcard prediction video for today, and also what are your wildcard predictions for what you would like to see announced at D23 Expo, and the reason why. And if you've enjoyed this video for today, then be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. Share this video with a friend, and now live in front of the Magic Kingdom, I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.